Welcome to Monday on the Mat. We are exploring March Madness and the 34 original classical Pilates exercises. So I will be bringing you some different exercises this week, and I do want to remind you to take into consideration any advice your medical professionals have given you with regard to exercise, and of course, listen to your body. So we're actually going to go ahead and get started facing the side. Feet can be here, and we'll start with an open leg rocker. I'm going to give you a few variations. We'll start with a nice warm-up version, lower ribs to the hips, tailbone under, and then lengthen up. And you'll notice that I am flexing and releasing my feet, dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, just to really accentuate the warming up. So this can be where you stay, but we'll hold the next one back and we'll walk the feet up one at a time. Open leg rocker rolls back to the shoulders. And so we'll keep those legs right where they are, roll back and roll up. Roll it back, roll it up. Now the danger in holding your legs in this position is that you might swing back and roll onto the neck, which I'd like to avoid. So that's the next version. And then we have straighten those legs up and we roll back and we roll up, recover the balance. You can softly point your toes, flex the feet, keep the ankles relaxed. And if you're feeling really flexible, you can go with all the way up. And I gotta tell you, it is hard to get up, but it's kind of fun, rolling back and forth. So from here, we're gonna go ahead, well, hi, yes. We're gonna go ahead and take ourselves to the mat carefully. Resting here, we'll take a breath in, we'll walk the legs up one at a time. Externally rotate those feet, heels together, toes apart, Pilates feet. Lengthen the legs up. Hi. Let's go over there and shoot that. Okay, we're gonna take a little rock around the clock. So if you'll imagine that your pelvis is a clock, we're rocking over to 3, down to 6, over to 9, and up to 12 to pause and reverse. Inhaling and exhaling. This is corkscrew. You can do this with parallel legs if that feels better to you rather than that V position. And this is the variation I usually teach in a group environment. This next version is closer to the original way that I learned it. It's considered a more advanced variation. So watch if you want, try, but use good judgment. It starts the same, but right about the time the leg's coming from 9 up to 12, we press back. And we're right up on the shoulders. And then we'll rock back over to 9, swing down to 6, over to 3, up to 12. And again, we reach it over. And around, and up, and over, and around, and up. Last time. So that is corkscrew, and that's kind of the more challenging variation. We're going to go right into seated and doing the saw. And in the saw, I do like to have people have soft knees so you can really connect to your sit bones. We'll reach the arms forward, and as we're reaching one arm back, we can rotate so that the thumb is down, shoulder rotates in the socket. That may or may not work for you, so you can keep the palm open, but you want to probably keep the arm fairly low. This hand's gonna dive towards the inside of the big toe, like you're sawing off your big toe, but while you're doing that, you're pulling back, so we are flexing through the spine with rotation. We come up and around, and we switch. You'll notice that my knees are bent, and I'm going towards the inside of the foot rather than the outside. Full extension, if you've got it, you can stay tall, give it to me, and then same movement, but now I'm going to the outside of my foot, the pinky toe, which is the original variation, but it's harder to keep the pelvis from rocking off the floor. So you want to feel those sit bones really stay anchored. So there's your saw. So we have already moved through our open leg rocker, our corkscrew, our saw, and now we're going to come on down onto our abdominal muscles and go into the swan dive. And I'm going to give you lots of choices here. So we start, shoulders glide away from the ears, lift the chest, look just to the end of the mat. This can be it. Release down. When you release down, try and avoid allowing the shoulders to jump up into your ears. Lift as you exhale, lower as you inhale. Engage the abdominals, maybe start to press up a little bit higher. If you're ready, willing, and able, we'll add just one leg coming up as the nose goes down, alternating every time. If you're feeling pretty good about it, you can take both legs up. If you want to do the full swan, you can dive out with those arms. And here's where it gets really entertaining. We're going to go right into swan dive. One more time. Okay, that's enough. We'll take it on back and find a little stretch. Just a release for the low back. And from this low back position, we're going to come on out onto the belly again. Shoulders glide away from those ears, press down through the forearms. I have learned this with fists together, but I prefer palms. You can experiment with either. Single leg kick, we have a 1, 2, 3, release. A 1, 2, 3, release. The front of the hips stays as relaxed as possible as you fold the leg in. The body tries to stay quiet, so it's business on the top, party on the bottom. Okay? So this is one version, and some people do find this works better for them, both in terms of keeping the hip down and keeping the back and the shoulders, elbows, and wrists comfortable. We're actually going to start here for our double leg kick. So we'll turn our head to the side, and we'll bring those legs in. I like to go flex, point, and as the legs lower, you just turn your head to the other side. We have flex, point, lower, and turn. Flex, point, lower, and turn. So that is one version. The original version is pretty demanding, so I'm going to give you a little in-between version where your hands move from here to here. Okay? So we'll start the same way, head to one side. We have a flex, a point, a lift, just a little hover. A flex, a point, a lift, little hover. Once more each side. And right from here, we're going to go into the full variation, which is, I like to interlace my hands. You can grab one with the other if that feels better to you. I'm going to start with my head, turn to one side just as before, and this is where you really want to let your shoulders open apart from one another but not climb up towards the ears. We have flex, point, we lift out of this. We flex, we point, we lift out of this. Breathing in, and out. Staccato breath, sniff, sniff, exhale. One more. And release. Taking it all the way back into one more quick stretch. So the full variation of a lot of these exercises are very demanding, require a good deal of control, which of course is why it was called contrology. But additionally, we really kind of need to know where our bodies are in space. So this next exercise is a neck pull. And I'm going to start seated, hands behind the head. Now, it's not called neck pull because you actually pull on your neck, but there is a point when we are leaving the floor where we lengthen the back of the neck, and we have that little sense of the chin tuck, and that is the pull portion of the neck pull. We'll start in that same way. So you're going to exhale, roll back. When you arrive on the mat, take a deep, full breath in. Notice the natural curve of the spine. We're not trying to eliminate it, but we're also not allowing it to kind of let go. Okay? So from there, we'll take a breath in. Exhale. Feel that length at the back of the neck that I mentioned. And then we roll up from there. And this is essentially a roll up without the hands. So it's pretty demanding. You round over the body, reach out and up. That's my version. A lot of people just, but I see no reason not to do a body roll while you're there. You might as well have some fun with your Pilates. So exhale, roll up. Reach out and up. And articulate back down. We'll do one more. Open it up, take a breath. Exhale. So essentially a full sit-up with straight legs, nothing holding your feet down, and it's pretty challenging. We'll roll all the way back down. Hang here, bend those knees, and I'm going to teach you 2 exercises, both traditional Pilates and the versions that I usually teach. So that first one's going to be leg up to the sky. Roll that chin to your chest. Elevate and extend the other leg. There you are. You can point, you can flex, but we are going to pulse, pulse, in. This is scissors or single straight leg stretch. Okay? And it's typically done in this position. And then we're going to go right into bicycle. Now I can bicycle supporting my hand, or my head with my hands. And you could reverse your bicycle, but we're going to keep it there. This is a pretty solid exercise. I'm really feeling my core at the moment. But the more traditional variation, and how I learned it initially, comes from a shoulder position. So we are going to lift the hips up and balance on the elbows. And you want to make sure you can breathe here. And then the same movement happens. We have press, press, and switch, switch. Breathe in, breathe out, out. This is your scissors or single straight leg stretch. And then we can go right into our bicycle. And then we'll just gently bring the knees towards the forehead. Roll gently down into a seated position. So that was a bunch of different exercises that I normally don't teach in the full Pilates way, just because there's always a different group of people in the classroom, and I like for everyone to feel comfortable with what they're doing, and there are many ways to challenge without getting up too close to the neck. So I hope you enjoyed this week's Monday on the Mat, and we're going to just finish with a big deep breath in, and as you exhale, just say, good. We'll see you next week, and I hope you're looking forward to some more of the true Pilates classical exercises. They're pretty fun, pretty challenging. We'll see you next time.